YouTube, welcome back to my channel. You're back with the Wandering Mariner, and with this video today I want to talk to you guys about renewing your Merchant Marine credentials. You know, the credentials are good for 5 years at a time, and all mariners, we come around to that time and it's kind of overwhelming because remember the day that we first applied for our Merchant Marine credentials and all the legwork we had to do and all the medical exams and the interviews and everything else. Well, I'm going to break it down for you guys, make it really simple so you understand it, layman's terms, easy to go. So, what are some of the first things you need to do? Well, you need to go to the Coast Guard site and download the Coast Guard Form 719 Bravo, which is your Merchant Marine credential, right? So, I'm going over the review of an able-bodied seaman and just how to renew your AB ticket, more or less. So, first step, get this form. Now, if your Merchant Marine credentials are expiring, there's a good chance that your TWIC card is also expiring. So your TWIC, your Transportation Work ID card, it's a requirement to renew your Coast Guard documents. Even though your company might not require you to have one, you're going to need it for your MMC. So, get your TWIC done first, then get the Coast Guard form and start filling that out while you're waiting for your TWIC to come in the mail. I got mine in like 5 days through the mail. It was really quick when you renew your TWIC. So, the next step is depending on when the last time you had your medical exam. Now, the Coast Guard came out with these handy dandy little medical certificates that we have to fill out every 2 years. And on there, it'll have expiration date of when your medical exam expires. Now, again, if you're at your 5-year mark, the medical exams are due every 2 years. So if you haven't done one in a while, you're going to probably have to redo your medical exam. Just download the medical form off the Coast Guard website. It's not that hard. It's pretty simple. So, but however, if your medical certificate has not expired, which I did mine a year ago, I'm good to go. I didn't need to redo that portion. So, next is your drug test. If you haven't renewed your drug test, or if your company does company screening, your company may be able to give you a drug test letter says that you get tested often and that you don't need to do the screening. If not, you can go to any medical drug screening center. I think mine cost $75. I went to Concerta Medical Health. They're all over the nation. It took 3 days to get the results back. So you just need to get your medical, your TWIC, your drug test, get those things rolling right away because then you're not waiting step by step to get stuff through. Everything else you should have on hand. After you fill out your forms, you get your drug test, then you have your sea service letters, right? All that time you spent at sea, you need to renew all your sea service documents. So you don't need to do what you did before you got your original document, just what you've been sailing on since you've gotten your last document. So get that together. Go back on, if you have not been through basic safety training, BST, you have to do the refresher. At a minimum, you have to do the refresher. If it's your documents have already expired, you're going to have to possibly go through the whole 5-day course again. I did a 3-day refresher course, got the firefighting, got everything that was required for that. So knock that out. Now, your company might have additional training that you're required to do every once in a while, but it should have nothing to do with the Coast Guard. And last but not least, go onto the Coast Guard's website, which I have listed below. The Coast Guard's website will tell you where you need to go to pay your fees. Everything can be done online. After you get all this done, grab your paperwork together, which it took me an afternoon of really fumbling around with stuff and making sure all the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed, and you want to make sure everything's right because you know if you send something to the Coast Guard and there's errors, it stops the whole process and you got to wait until you get the corrected documents and the Coast Guard doesn't prioritize getting back to you. So make sure you do your documents right the first time. So after you get all that together, you go onto the Coast Guard's website, you pay the $95 processing fee to renew your documents, get that receipt back, scan everything if you have a scanner, hopefully you do, It'll make life so much easier, or you can mail it. Now, you do not mail or email your documents to the NMC itself. You send them to your regional REC. And what REC you're going to use, just go on the Coast Guard's website, again, listed below, and it's going to tell you where you need to go to email that stuff to, all right? So then once you get everything emailed off, the Coast Guard's going to hit you back with a Mariner tracking number saying they received your package, and then it's being processed. Hang on to that tracking number along with your Mariner reference number, which is in your original MMC, okay? Go onto the website. Again, I'll list it below where you need to go to check the reference numbers. And you go ahead, punch in that reference number, and it'll tell you exactly where your documents are in the whole process. So I know it seems a little overwhelming, even for myself. It's like doing your taxes. It's something that you got to do every once in a while. Paperwork, we all hate it, but do it. I know there are fixers out there. If you're on the West Coast, a common one, it's called Jewel. There in San Diego, you could pretty much Google Jewel, Jewel, San Diego, Coast Guard documents. And she used to be an actual an observer of these documents back when she was in the Coast Guard. So she started her own fixer business that kind of does the processing. I think she charges $100 to $200. I've never used her myself because I'm cheap and I like to do everything myself. But it's up to you guys. Hope this video is helpful. If it's not, let me know. Yes or no, like it. Either way. Y'all have a great day, great week, and we are out.
I've tried to cut my losses. I don't care what the